where childhood friends turn book besties.
Discuss all things bookish. I'm Aysia.
And I'm Taylor, and this is TBR Files.
Hello, friends.
Hello. We're so excited. Oh my gosh.
Our first episode of the TBR Files. Welcome.
Welcome. We're so excited to have you here. We're so excited to be here.
Heck yeah.
I suppose we should probably tell the people who we are, yeah?
Absolutely. You want to go first?
Yeah, okay. So hi, I'm Aysia. I am, 26 years old. I live in Minneapolis. Yeah, that's me for right now.
Well, then it's me. I'm Taylor. I am 25 and I live in Crookston, Minnesota, a very small town about 2.5 hours from the Canadian border. So as you can imagine, it is quite cold. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's very little to do in Crookston.
What? We have like 3 restaurants. I don't know what you're talking about.
3 restaurants and like how many bars?
Let's see, about 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just, here in Minnesota and North Dakota, the typical thing to do is you don't have anything to do, you go drinking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not me.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody.
Gotta love it. I love that. Okay, so we've got like so much to talk about, and we're both yappy people, and we're both incredibly awkward. So stick with us through this. But yeah, so Taylor, why don't you tell everybody like a couple fun facts about yourself?
Okay. So like I said, I live in Minnesota. Minnesota is my home. I'm originally from Grand Forks, North Dakota, where Aysia and I met in school. And I recently, in 2023, me and my husband moved to Crookston, about 30 miles away from Grand Forks, so not far whatsoever. Like, not far whatsoever. And we bought a house here, and I have 3, technically I have 4 animals. I have a dog, and then I have my 3 amazing cats that I literally could not live without. And I call them all my children. So technically we're not having children, so those are my children.
Yeah, we're both cat households for sure.
Yes.
You've got your 3, I've got my 1. We're both possibly particular to an orange
maybe
cat.
Maybe a second sometime.
Maybe a second eventually. Eventually, maybe. Not yet.
Are you a dog person?
I will never get a dog. They're way too much work. Like, I don't want to have to, like, get up and, like, go on walks. I also, like, my cat is chill if I, like, have to leave the house for, like, a day or 2. Yep. So, like, that's just not something you can do with dogs. No. I'll stick to my cat, maybe add one in the future, but for now, he and I are just fine.
That's how I feel about my cats. I would love to get more, but I'm not allowed to get any more. For a good reason. I have 3 cats. And then I guess going on to like what I do is, so technically I used to work as a personal trainer here in Crookston for about 1 to 2 years. But then my little brain decided to give me panic attacks. And so I actually found a job working remotely. I work as a like medical scribe, so I just like take notes while like the doctors, have me on their phone, and I just follow them around and take notes for each patient. And I actually love my job so freaking much. I love being able to work from home. My husband has to go out into the really cold, like -13, go start his car in the morning, and I don't have to do anything. I wake up and I put on a pair of sweatpants and a nice comfy cozy sweatshirt, and I'm good to go.
And like I don't think, if you don't live in the upper Midwest, you don't understand like how cold it really gets. Mm-hmm. So having a like work from home job is like very, very nice.
It's
in the middle of winter.
It's top tier. Like for people who don't live in the Midwest. And like, so yesterday it was negative like 13 here, I think, but it felt like -39. Yeah. So as you can imagine, your ass does not want to go outside.
No.
Especially when it's like 6:00 in the morning and you have to go start your vehicle and everything like that.
Yeah, so, no.
Working from home is the best. But I
It did
do
not
plan.
get as cold here
Yeah,
yesterday,
you have a.
which was lucky.
Usually it's like about a 10-degree difference, right?
But it was like -7 or 8 at the coldest.
With like the
But
wind chill and everything too.
that was before wind chill. I never actually looked at wind chill. I just have the like weather on my phone so that I
Yeah.
can see just like what it is. I don't ever go deeper into it because I'm like, oh, it's cold. Like that it's cold. I don't need
It's
to know
negative
anything
7.
else.
I guess I
Yeah,
don't really want to look into that further either.
yeah.
Yeah, no. No, the weather here is brutal, but I've gotten used to it. Clearly, we both have lived in the
Yeah.
Midwest
It's
our
all
whole
we've
life.
ever known. Yeah.
So we've gotten used to it as much as we can, but I definitely don't plan or intend on staying. Even though Minnesota like is my home, I love Minnesota. We plan on moving to actually St. John's, Newfoundland, in Canada.
Oh.
In well, we have to save up money for that first, but we're hoping within 5 years or so we'll be living there. So
I mean, speaking of cold, isn't Newfoundland like really cold? It's like very far north.
it's very far north, but they're by the ocean, so they don't get like really negative temperatures like we get.
Okay.
And if they do get negative temperatures, it's a lot different than, the negative temperatures here because they have that ocean breeze coming in where we
Yeah.
have absolutely nothing besides the
We're
trees
we're
and wind chill.
landlocked. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But he went there for the military twice. And after the first time, I haven't even been there, but after the first time, like he showed me pictures and everything. And if anybody if you've been to Duluth, it is Duluth by the ocean.
Oh, incredible.
And I've always wanted to live in Duluth, but
Mhm.
then I want to live by the ocean too. So it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. No, really. Like that sounds incredible. I'm obsessed.
Yes, but I mean I do plan on staying a scribe for a little bit. I do kind of want to. I asked for Christmas. I asked for a little soap maker thingy,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to start that doing that as a side job from home,
Like side
selling on
gig. Yeah.
Etsy or something. But we'll see how that goes because you have to register a business, and I looked
Yeah.
into having to register it, and it's $300 just to register the name, and I was like, maybe I won't do that.
I feel like my whole being is like a little less exciting. Um
Honestly, more exciting, ma'am.
no. So, yeah, I live in Minneapolis, but like Taylor, I was raised in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We actually met in what, middle school?
I think 6th grade is when we met.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we're really good friends up until high school, and then life happens.
Life
Who
happened.
knows? Just kind of lost touch. But then I came to Minneapolis for college in 2018, and then just haven't left. I love it here. Like this is one of my favorite places in like the world, but I will likely end up somewhere else within the
Heck
next couple years.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, like I just like I I have like a desire to just like see and like experience the world because like growing up I didn't ever travel. Like we didn't
Yeah.
like the when we took vacations it was to Minneapolis or it
Yep.
was to
Us
South
too.
Dakota. So like I saw 3 states and out of the 3 states I saw like 3 cities. So like I didn't get to see a ton and then I
Yeah.
got to college and like traveled and have done a lot of like solo traveling, which I super love. So we'll see. We'll see sort of where the world takes me. I too want to end up by an ocean or a sea. If I end up in Scotland,
Oh my god.
that's it's the dream.
Yes, yes. I
It's
will
the
be
actual
visiting you
dream.
24/7. If you end up in Scotland, catch me there.
No, like that is I've been telling people for years like that's where I'm going to end up. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to marry a Scottish man. I'm
Heck yeah.
going to like live there in Edinburgh. Like I've plans, people.
Yeah.
So yes, love Scotland, love a Scottish accent, love a Scottish man.
Absolutely.
It's so fun. But yeah, so if I end up there, so what? Um I have my cat. His name is Jethro, which is, I say that because we are in fact a reading podcast.
Yep.
And I named him after one of my favorite characters from a series of books, the Winston Brothers series, from Penny Reed.
Yep.
And it's just like these, what is it, 6 brothers and a sister that live in like Appalachia, and they're like backwoods bearded men.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I met them first through audiobooks, and the narrator for the guys is so good that I was like, I'm in love with them.
Oh, okay.
So that's
I
where
might have to give
his,
that one a listen then.
it's so good. It's like so worth it. They're very cute. They're very low key. And I love the characters. I love Penny Reed's writing so much. She has 3 series that all exist in this same, I think it's Tennessee, I think. Green
Okay.
Valley, which is not a real place, but like Green Valley, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And there are 3 series that all take place there with like interconnected characters.
Ooh, I do
Yeah.
love some interconnected characters and like stories.
Yeah, like I just think that it's fun, and you get to know them throughout other books, and then the characters that have like gone off and gotten married, you still get to like hear from.
Yes.
They like aren't gone
Absolutely.
forever.
Yeah.
So yes, that's my boy Jethro. Which it doesn't super make sense that I chose Jethro out of the characters, because there were 2 brothers who were gingers, and I have an orange cat. So I should have chose one of them, but I just like
You
the
just like
name
Jethro.
Jethro. Yeah.
I think that is like such a cute freaking name too.
That's in a gist me. I'm in school. I'm getting my master's degree. I graduated with my bachelor's in 2022, and then I took 2 years off and worked at a local nonprofit doing some case management and program management work for young people involved in the juvenile justice or foster care systems.
Oh.
Yeah, that was kind of like where I started my career, and then I moved into a senior director role, working with low income families with young kids. So like those were kind of my forays into work, and then I was like, I think I want to go back and just get a little bit more educated. So I'm
This girl
in
is
school.
educated, let me tell you. She is smart.
I'm like attempting to be like one of the most educated people in my family. 1, because I love school. 2, because it's fun.
Fun?
What else can I say? Fun, yeah.
School? Fun?
I love school.
I wish I loved school, but I hate it so much.
I love school. School is like the one place where I just like feel super comfortable.
And you've always loved school though. I remember in like middle school and high school, you always loved school. Clearly I didn't know you in elementary school, but I'm guessing you also love school in elementary school, so
Yeah. I love school. So I'm in school now for my master's of public policy. I'm working towards, I don't even know what I'm going to do after school. I focused a ton of my school on like criminal justice policy. So hopefully something in that realm. But one of my professors is like convinced that I'm going to get a PhD. And I'm like, sir, chill.
Girl.
Not yet.
Girl, that would not surprise me. If you got a PhD, that would not surprise me.
I've done 13 years of like public education.
Yeah.
4 years of undergrad, and now I'm finishing up my 2nd year of grad. So that's 18. This is my 20th year. No.
Yeah. No?
13, 17. This is my 19th year.
Okay. That's so much school.
Yeah. It's a ton of school.
I have quite a small origin story with books compared to Aysia, for sure. I didn't really read much as a kid. My sister was such an avid reader, and I aspired to be her, but I just wasn't a reader. I remember, I think it was in 7th grade, in one of my classes, I think it was like a literature class.
With who? Who was the teacher? Do you remember?
She was...
Was it Sabula? Oh no, because 7th grade was...
I was in...
Were we opposite teams every year?
Miss Vostacek. I had Miss Vostacek as my...
Yeah, we were opposite teams, I think. we're saying this like you people know what we're talking about. Our
Yeah. Explain.
middle school had like two sets. So
Yeah.
you were with one group of teachers or you were with the other group of teachers. Those were like teams.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know that we were ever on the same team
I don't
throughout the
think
3
we were
years.
ever on the same team. Maybe in 8th grade?
To be honest, I don't really remember
I can't
much of
remember
middle
much.
school.
But I remember the literature teacher that we had. She was very cuckoo, and I can't remember her name. She was a dear. I loved her, but she was just a little cuckoo. And one time, she just didn't show up to class. I truly remember that, and all of us were just stunned, like, hello.
I didn't know that that
Then
was
the
an
next day
option.
she was there. We were like, okay, sounds good. Anyway, somebody in that class recommended the Divergent book to me, and I don't believe that the rest of the like series was out at that time. It was just the first book, and I can't even remember who it was. I think you might have known her too, but I can't remember her name. Anyway, she recommended the book to me, and clearly she knew that like I didn't read that much, so she was like, I think that you'll like this book. I was like, okay. So like I took it home, and then like the second day I had it, I was like, it was like a Saturday, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to try and read this. I could not put that book down. I think that was the first book in my life I could not put down. Somebody asked me to hang out, and I was like, I can't. I'm
I'm
reading this
busy.
book.
I'm booked.
I'm
I'm
busy.
booked and
I'm
busy.
literally booked. And I'm pretty sure I finished that book in like, for me, which is record time, like 2 days.
Oh wow.
And I was so proud of myself. And then after that book, nothing. Nothing until high school. Like, clearly I read books for school and stuff like
Right.
that. And I'm
Right.
guessing I probably read like a few books here and there, but I just wasn't an avid reader. But then in high school, if you know, you know, I was quite a mentally ill girly pop in high school, like 11th and 12th grade. And do you know who Ellen Hopkins is? The
Mm-mm.
the writer. She
No, I
writes a
don't think I
lot of
do.
like just like youth, like teen young adult books about like mental health and stuff like that. So I really got into her. I think I read 4 or 5 of her books, and I just could relate to them at the time. And then I also got into Milk and Honey by
Mm.
Rumi Kapoor.
Yeah, Ruby
I don't want to
Ruby
butcher her name.
Cower.
Power maybe. But I really like that. And that was actually like her writing is poetry. It's not like an actual
Mm-hmm.
novel, but I really liked the way that she wrote it. And then again, fast forward to last year. No, the beginning of this year. No, last year. Sorry. The end of 2024, I was going through, I have panic attack disorder, if anybody wants to know, probably not. And one of my goals for like trying to get like step out of my boundaries and kind of get away from it was reading more books, because books can make you forget about the world around you. And
Yeah.
so I randomly, like, I would read books here and there, but I was like, I really want to read at least like 15 books next year, or like this upcoming year. And I picked up a book called The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. Or The Way I Was Before. The Way I Was Before, I think, by Amber Smith.
Okay.
And I read that in one sitting. And it's like a
Oh my gosh.
300-page like novel or whatever. It was so good. And so then I just kept picking up books. I got a library card, and from then on, your girl now has her own library at home.
Yes, obsessed.
And I just love reading. I am so glad that I picked up a book. I'm so glad that Aysia gave me suggestions for books. Like, I am so glad. So happy. But yeah, that's my book origin story.
Mine is I love reading,
How about
guys. I don't know that I can like stress enough that I love reading. I've been a reader since like before I can remember.
you? Hmm.
Like so much so that like I came into kindergarten already knowing how to read. Um
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I have an older brother and he's 2 years older than me.
Hmm.
And when my mom was like trying to teach him how to read, because she wanted us to like go into kindergarten like kind of knowing.
Yeah.
So my mom was trying to teach him how to read. I picked it up. So I was like 3 and like could read like yeah. Like it's like insane. Like I love reading. But the first time that I can remember being like reading is like my favorite thing to do
Yeah.
was like 4th grade-ish, somewhere around there, I think, when one of my teachers had the entirety of the series of unfortunate events um by, oh god, who is it by? Lemony Snicket, which is a
What
pen
a
name.
name! What
That's
a
a pen
name!
name.
Iconic.
Yeah. And I was going through those books so fast. I was going through like a book a day,
Okay.
which when you're in the 4th grade is, hey, a lot.
A lot.
But I also should note that I like didn't have friends. Like I was very much a
Same.
loner girl. Yeah.
Yep.
So like while the kids were out playing recess, I was sitting on the side reading my book.
Heck yeah.
But then middle school it slowed down a little bit, I think, because I like got a couple friends and I was like, oh my god, this is what
And you
life
were also
is like.
You were in volleyball, right?
I was in
And basketball.
volleyball, I was in basketball.
Did you do track too?
I was in band, I was in track.
Yep.
I did orchestra. I was booked
She was
and
booked
busy, but like
okay?
for a very different reason. Yeah. Going into high school, this is my cat, guys. Say
That's
hello.
Jethro.
Going into high school, I had a teacher who saw that I loved to read. And was like, I'm gonna like foster this in you. I should also note that like at this time, I was having really, really bad hip and back pains.
Oh.
And I ended up having to have 2 surgeries later in high school because of this. Yeah. Crazy lore to just drop.
Okay, never knew this.
Yes. I have a condition called hip dysplasia. I had to go in and get my like pelvis broken and repositioned. It was a mess. So like
Yeah, that sounds awful.
reading was the thing that I could do that like brought me joy without bringing me pain, the way that sports did. So in 9th grade, my English teacher, Mrs. Miedema, love you, girl. But she would constantly recommend me books, and she had books available for checkout in her classroom. So her and I would just like be like, oh, I read this and really liked it, and then she'd be like, oh, I liked this and really liked it.
Okay,
And she
yeah,
kind of
I
like
love
pushed
that.
me. Yeah, it was really cute. We have each other on Facebook.
Do you?
Yeah, and every once in a while, if I like post any sort of reading post to my story, she'll like heart it, and I'm like obsessed with you, queen. But then after high school, I kind of dropped off reading when I got to college just because I was like, one, I'm away from home.
Yeah.
So I've got things to do. I've got people to meet. I've got,
College.
parties to attend. Yeah. I've got to do the college thing. But then COVID.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love. And so I had to end up going back to North Dakota and to like get through the like year that I spent there.
I didn't know you came
a little
back
less than a year. Yeah, in March of in March of 2020 through September of 2020, I was in North Dakota. So yeah, I did that and then really got back into reading then. And then starting that fall when I got back to school, I started reading every day before bed. And I have done so basically every day since.
Yeah. That was like 2023 or 2022?
2020.
Oh, 2020. Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. I really got into like keeping track of my stats and shit in late 2022, early 2023.
Okay.
But I used to have I'll have to find it one day. I had a like physical journal that
Yeah.
I would write down the book that I read, the author that it was by, the day that I started, the day that I finished, and then any thoughts.
Yeah.
But once I found apps to do that, I stopped keeping it manually and just did it on the apps instead.
Which is funny because I've kind of gone, like, clearly I use Fable. I mean, I use
Mm,
Goodreads. I'll like log my stuff on Goodreads, but I am a Fable girly and Storygraph. I love Storygraph too. You're the one
I
who
love
actually
Storygraph.
mentioned that to me. But I love Fable, so my favorite YouTuber, Emmy, she started doing like a few years ago, she started doing like a book journal where she does like illustrations and like stuff like that, but she also like rates her books. And I was like, I need a hobby besides reading.
Yeah,
I need a hobby. And so I started doing like a book journal, and like you can just put on an audiobook, or I can. A lot of people have troubles with like audiobooks, but I can put on an audiobook and like get like focus, and I can just like, I love doing book journaling, but I also love logging my stats, so I understand.
yeah, yeah. Like I my brain thinks in two very different ways. Like I am addicted to numbers. Like I love numbers. I was telling people that like with how much econ I've taken in my life and like the grades that I've gotten in that class, I should have become an economist.
Yeah,
But that just sounds miserable.
that sounds miserable,
No offense,
especially right
but
now.
like yeah.
Miserable.
No offense, but also yuck.
Yeah,
Um but so it's fun to like have my reading hobby, which I really just like to do to like get out of my head, blah 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 blah. And then the numbers part of it that just like makes my brain really happy.
yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of both. But Taylor, like what is your like go-to reading genres, reading books? Like what is your
So
where are you
it's
tapping
like
in?
changed because clearly I've only been like consistently reading this past year. So like, of course, when I first started reading, I like TikTok or Book Talk really popped off on my TikTok feed. And so I started reading, of course, like, you know, the things that they recommend. So I read all of like Sarah J. Maas's books besides The Crescent City. But
Yep.
I love her books. I especially Throne of Glass, like that's a god tier for me. And I had never before, if I were to read a book, it would be something that I like related to. So anything like mental health or exercise or something like
Mm,
that. That's the book that I was into, and I never thought I would like, you know, change genres. But then slowly throughout this year, I've become a like sci-fi fantasy dystopian girly, but I like
okay.
a romance subplot. Like I like
Okay.
having that romance subplot. I think that I don't want romance to be the whole plot, but I like having
Yep.
just a tiny bit of romance. What about you?
Mhm. I have read a little bit of everything in my time.
Yeah.
You know, because I started at age 3.
She's
Because I've
also
been reading
jobless.
for the
She knows
last
what she likes.
23 years. I've dabbled in a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Um I would say that like when I first picked it up again post like coming off of COVID, the majority of what I was looking at was romance.
Yeah.
And like I know that everybody hates her, and like for good reason because her writing's not that great.
Oh, I know
But like
exactly who
Colleen
you're talking
Hoover
about.
got
Yeah.
me into reading. Yeah. Got like brought me back into it after taking like a little bit of a hiatus. So
Yeah.
like yes, I understand that like some of her work is super problematic. Yes, I
Mhm.
understand that like it's not all written super well. But like I kind of do have to just be like hats off to her
Oh,
because
yeah,
it
absolutely.
it was reading that like didn't take very much brain power. It wasn't super difficult. It was entertaining to read, and it got me back into enjoying reading.
Mhm.
Um so I don't read any of her stuff really anymore, and I haven't for the last couple of years. I
Yeah.
do own a lot of it, and I've read most of what I own because of like the 2020-ish time.
Yeah. I
Um
mean, she was really popular like
she was
2020.
huge.
Yeah, she was huge.
like everyone was reading everything, and I, was like, yeah, like why wouldn't I? If
Exactly.
everybody else is and is saying it's good, like why
Why
wouldn't I
wouldn't
like
I?
dabble? Yeah. So I own a ton of it. I kind of need to figure out, because I don't just like owning books to own them. I
Oh,
like to like own
same.
books that I like. But
Yes.
I got an embosser, so all of my books are embossed.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
like I want to either donate or sell, but I just don't know that like anybody will take them, being that they have my embossed stamp on them.
Really think that it matters. Like, if I got an embossed one, it would not bother me. But I guess
Okay.
other people are different. But like, it's like I'm there to read the book. If I really like the book, then and I hate that there's an embossment on it, then I would just get a different book. But I don't really think it matters. You know.
Yeah. I'll figure it out, because yeah, there are some that like I'm not going to read, um and I would rather somebody who is going to read have them. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is start putting them in those tiny libraries.
That's such a good idea.
Maybe I'll do that.
That's such a
Anyway, but yeah, so like I started really in romance and like contemporary fiction. Um, but like growing up, it was very much, I was dystopian.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
I lived in dystopian, but like that was a very like 2013, 2014, 2015 thing. Like that
Absolutely.
was Hunger Games, that was Divergent,
Yep.
that was, oh, there's another big one. Who knows?
Who knows?
Not me. So that was like very much that time frame. And then oh, there was one that I really really loved that I wanted to mention here. It's the Gone series by
Ooh.
Michael Grant.
It's on my
Loved that shit.
TBR for next year.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. I reread the first book recently because I made it through, I think in high school I read the entire thing.
Yeah.
But I reread the first one recently just to be like, hey, like what was this about when I was reading it? Um and like, is it the best writing in the world? No.
But it's the nostalgia of like you've read it
Yeah.
before and it was such like an impactful reading for you that like it's it's still a very good book.
Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, dove into Colleen Hoover, and then I got into oh, who is it? What the hell? Emily Henry.
Ooh, yes.
Um and that sort of brought me into like contemporary fiction, and then it all really really spiraled from there. Um and then I got into Jodi Picoult, and I love 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 her stuff. So yeah, that's sort of what that's the world that I live in. I've also just recently, like within the last year and a half, picked up fantasy. I, like
Mhm.
everyone else, read A Court of Thorns and Roses, um and then really just like it it sort of snowballed after
Yeah.
that. um at Taylor's recommendation, I read Throne of Glass this summer. And it was really good. I do have to admit, and here's my controversial take.
Yep.
Throne of Glass wasn't good until book 3 or 4. The end of 3, beginning of 4.
I will agree with that. The Queen of Shadows is
Yeah.
really where it like took off for me. Like I liked the other books. We'll talk about this in the next video about like ratings and stuff.
Yeah.
But I liked the other books, but Queen of Shadows is where I was like, "Oh my god, I love it. I love fantasy. This is like top-notch writing."
Yeah. But like I have a gripe against
Ooh.
series where you have to get to book 3 or 4 or
Mm.
whatever before it starts getting good,
Yep.
cuz I'm like, it should just be good. It should just be a good series.
Correct. Correct.
Um so yes, I love Throne of Glass, and it I don't know that I love it as much as the masses do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I feel the
There are
same.
some people who like can't take criticism, or
Yes.
they can't like take the criticism of the book,
Yeah.
and I have a hard time with that because every book is gonna have like some sort of criticism for the most part,
Yeah.
and And the author is quite problematic as well, which,
Yes. Which I
does
think
not
that
help.
we will eventually talk about, like, can you separate the art from the artist?
Yes.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, if you're gonna write a good series, have it be good from the start, and don't have people have to, like, dedicate hundreds of pages to a book that's just, like, not, to a series that's,
Hundreds of
like, not
pages
very
for that
good.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I also read most of, I haven't finished it, and I don't think that I will, the Outlander series, which, again, super good, fantasy romance-esque, kind of a little bit older, but they're so fucking long. I don't know if we're swearing. They're so long.
I've heard of them, but I didn't know that they were long.
The shortest, well, and I have the, like, mass market paperback versions, so they're short, and they're, like, very small, and the writing is
I have a
tiny.
gripe about those. I hate them. I hate them
Oh,
so
I
much.
love mass market paperbacks.
My husband, Zach, loves them so much. Like,
Yeah.
if we go to our, like, bookstore in Grand Forks, because that's the closest bookstore that we have, that's the section he goes to. Because, I mean, clearly they are cheaper. But it's like,
Yes.
first of all, I hate tiny reading. Mostly because
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to, like, focus on the reading. I don't know. I don't like them that much, but each to their own, right?
But yeah, so, like, they're small writing, they're very dense, but the shortest one is, like, 790 pages. The longest one is, like, 1,500 pages. Like, they're so fucking long.
Oh, probably not then.
Yeah, no. Because, like, okay, so here's the thing. They're good books, but they can be reduced by, like, 400 pages each. Like, they don't need to be that long. There's a ton of empty, yeah. But the TV show is good. So, like, this is one where I'm like, watch the TV show, don't read the books.
Okay. I haven't watched the TV show either, so
maybe it's
I'll have to
good.
look into that.
Check trigger warnings. I literally read a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And haven't found, because I'm in school, I don't read a ton of nonfiction. When I'm not in school, I've read more. I'll read, like, memoirs a lot. But in school, I cannot read academic writing and then read a nonfiction. Like, that's just not going to work for me.
Like, you literally need a brain break from that type of writing, from nonfiction. I'm not the biggest nonfiction girly either. I do like memoirs a lot. Clearly depending on the person. But I have read a couple nonfiction this year. Actually, I like listening to nonfiction more than actually reading it. I like audiobooks of it.
Okay.
But I have read a couple, and they are mostly just about the state of the world. And that's the type of, like, nonfiction that I like to read. Not any of, like, the self-help books. I can't stand self-help books. But that's just
yuck. Yeah, no, absolutely not. But since we're both relatively into romantasy, and those books are filled with the most tropes, what are some that you love and you hate?
Okay, I have my little phone here because I do have a few. So this one could go in both categories for me. Enemies to lovers. I think it has popped off in, like, the past 6 months where it's like enemies to lovers in all. Like, that's all the romance people want to do. And it can be done so well, in my opinion. I think that in Throne of Glass it was done well. Or in whatever book. Heir of Fire? I think it was Heir of Fire when Aelin and Ronan, whatever. I think that was done well. There was, like, slow burn and stuff like that, which I enjoy. But like, how they're writing enemies to lovers nowadays is, like, they're enemies for about 3 days and then they are, like, fucking. And it's like, that's not true enemies to lovers. I love coming of age stories. Those are probably my favorite types of stories. And I like opposites attract.
Oh,
I do
okay.
really like opposite, like, attract. What are some of the ones that you love?
I like very like so like the ones that I like are like sort of microtrope-esque.
Yeah.
Um, one bed is I love a good like
Oh
one
yeah.
bed locked inside like snowstorm or some reason
Yeah.
that they're locked inside. Um, another one that I've discovered that I liked more recently is famous person, regular person.
Oh.
So like either like a singer and somebody, or I read an arc recently that was famous athlete and sports journalist.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, and like they're just like it I feel like it's a fun sort of spin on like impossible romance, right? Like
Yeah.
this is like or forbidden,
Yeah.
but like not really. Um so that one's really good. I love a slow burn.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
by slow burn I mean
Slow.
slow burn.
Literally.
I yeah, I finished reading a book last night where the two characters, and it's like a standalone, it's not a series. The two characters didn't even like kiss
Hmm.
until 77% of the way through.
Heck yeah, that's what we want. Like that
Like,
is
give
what
me
slow burn
yearning.
is.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm like, because people are like, it's slow burn, and then you're on chapter like 8, and they're like going at it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not slow burn.
No. It's more like insta love at that point, which
Yeah. Which I like don't mind. Like that's everybody hates insta love. I don't mind it if it's done well.
yes, that is my opinion as well. If it's done well, then I can get down with it. But there are so many out there that are just it's like the first page and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, take a step back. Like we need to be a little bit more realistic here.
Yeah. And then I like multiple POV.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that especially in an audiobook because I like to
Yes.
hear the different narrators.
Yes.
Um and then in just like all of the books that I read, I really enjoy like a badass female main character. Like give me somebody who like knows their worth, can throw a punch. Like I want somebody who's like sick on their own
Yeah.
and like doesn't necessarily need saving.
Yeah.
But then that takes me to the tropes that I hate, which one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest is a male centered female main character. So like a girl who loses all sense of self, all personality, all everything the second the like male main character shows up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You
That
see
like
that a
actually drives me
lot
insane.
in fantasy, I would say. I see that a lot in fantasy where it's like they know their worth, they're like fighting for something, but then their mate or a man comes in and it's like, oh, this is all I'm gonna focus on. And it's like, no, no.
Yeah, it's like you were like a super strong and independent person before. Like what happened that
Right.
you're suddenly like this weak little baby? Like I hate that. Um, friends to lovers is not for me. I think they're boring.
I guess I haven't really read Friends to Lovers. I can't think of a book that I've read that's Friends to Lovers. So I don't have an opinion on that.
Yeah, like I well because a lot of the time it's just that like they've been in love with each other since they were kids,
Yeah.
but like just didn't say anything, and I'm like, don't piss me off. um the other one that I feel like people are gonna not be super happy about me with is I don't like second chance romance.
You don't like what?
Second chance romance.
Mm. Oh, no. Me
I
either.
think that if there was a reason for you to break up, stay broken up.
Mhm.
Like I like because typically there was like like a good reason that
Yep.
people went their own way, and like I feel like especially if the author doesn't like explicitly state how the circumstances have changed or like the context has changed in a way that would make their coming back together make sense.
Yeah.
I'm like yuck. Um And this one, I've seen it in a couple books, but is really one that like ACOTAR ruined for me, which is giving god awful characters a redemption arc. I'm sorry,
Taylor?
Nesta is a bitch. I
You
hate
don't like her? Okay.
her.
I do agree. She is a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I just like don't think that she needed a redemption arc. Like
Yeah.
I just like I think that it's dumb. I think that sometimes it feels really forced, especially when it's a series where like you've spent several books like like setting up how this person is a terrible person,
And then all of a
and then
sudden they make a change.
all of a sudden I'm supposed to be like, "Oh yeah. Yeah, love them." Like no. Yuck.
But no.
And then my last one, which could end up on either a love or a hate, is a dual timeline. When they're done well, they're done well. Um, but when it's jumping back and forth and it's not super clear when or how, I don't love it. But then I read one recently where it was dual timeline, but it was different realities. So,
Ooh.
like, on one
Okay, 'cause-
timeline, these events happened, and then on a different timeline, these events happened. It's called The 10-Year Affair, and it's so
oh,
good.
that's on my TBR. Okay.
It's so good.
Okay, then you
Yeah.
have to read Invisible Life of Addie LaRue because it does the time it works so well. It makes sense. It works well. I know it's slow, but we're gonna get you to read it one day.
Well, I will eventually. I just like I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well, going into the ones that I hate, Credence ruined this for me, but I don't think that I would like it anyway. You
Yuck.
don't.
Yuck.
Forbidden Love. This depends. Okay. Anything
Forbidden
step,
love, incest. Yeah.
anything step or incest. Why? I'm
Yuck.
sorry. Why was that written? Credence. If you don't know me, you will now. You'll know that I hate hate Credence. I hate it so much, and I realized that first of all, why was it written? But some people love it, so that's one of them, and I will die on a hill for that. My next one might be a controversial one. Love triangles. I am not a huge fan of love triangles.
Okay.
Unless they're done
How do
right.
you feel? Yes. I feel like it's rare that they're done right, but how do you feel about like a why choose?
I like those. It's so difficult because it's just like it's how the author writes it.
Yeah.
It depends on whether I'm going to like it or not, but I just like in a book that I just read, not that long ago, A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. It's like a
Mm.
romantic book or whatever. I think that the love triangle was okay, but it was dragged on far longer than it should have been. Like, we
Yeah.
already know who the main character chose, and so why does it have to drag on? I think that's my biggest gripe with it is that, like,
Yeah.
I guess they're okay, but for some reason, a lot of authors, like, drag them out, and
Mhm.
I cannot stand that.
That's
Especially if
fair.
like you're inside the brain clearly of this main character and like you know who they're gonna choose. So like
Yeah. It's like
what's
what's the
the point of
point?
like dragging it on? But I know that's more of like a controversial one. And then even though I have never read one, this is just one that I just don't think that I'd like reading. And it is like a billionaire romance,
I
whatever.
love Billionaire. Give me Billionaire, give me Mafia. Like
Okay,
that's
Mafia.
that's
Mafia, I'd be down for. Billionaire, I guess I've never read one, so like I can't truly have a good opinion on it.
yeah.
But I just don't know if I'd ever pick one up. But maybe if you recommended one to me, I would read it, and
Lauren
maybe my
Hasher
opinion
has
would
some good
change.
ones.
But I don't. So far, because I have not read. I've read a lot of books this year, but I just haven't
Mhm.
read consistently over the years. I just don't have that many like rants or raves yet, I guess.
That's fair. Yeah. I think that there's a place for everything, right? Like
Mhm.
if you're looking for something that's like super super thought provoking, then like A Billionaire Romance is not going to be the book that you're going to reach towards.
Probably not.
And like I think that as long as people go into reading them
Knowing
like
that.
understanding the like context,
Yeah.
then like have a good time. But like
Right.
yeah, if you're used to reading like self-help books and you pick up A Billionaire Romance and you're like this is trash. Well, like what?
Obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're
like
gonna think that because
yeah.
you've only read self-help books, so.
No, yeah, like so what was the point of reading that book for you?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like that's ridiculous personally.
No, I agree. Reading habits. What are some of your reading habits?
I read every day.
Mm-hmm.
I am I use 4 apps to keep track of my reading, which I understand is a lot. Okay, I'm well aware
I get it.
that
I do
this is
too.
too
I use
much.
3, so.
I use Fable, I use Bookly, Storygraph, and Goodreads.
Well, you have to pay for though, don't you?
Yeah, and I think I do. I don't know. You know, it's like one of those subscriptions that I have that I haven't ever really paid attention to. So yeah,
That's
but
fair.
I have a streak on there currently
Ooh.
of 882 days, which is about 2 years and 5 months of reading every single day.
Holy crap, girly.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So like I'm so proud of that streak that like there's if I were to lose that streak, I think that like I would have to be welfare checked because I think that that would like ruin my ruin my like mental health, right? Like I would be
Like, I
so
come knocking
sad.
on your door. Why'd you lose your streak?
No, literally, like yeah, because it's gonna take a lot for me to lose that. But that's really it. Like I don't have a ton of just like I don't do anything but read and then log my reading. What about you?
Okay, my reading habits. Just like you, I like to read every day. I have my Fable streak going. That's been going strong this whole year, and I do not ever want to stop that. But for me, like reading, especially like every day, clearly that's like kind of hard to do if you have like a full-time job and stuff. Except for it's not really that difficult because my job is pretty slow. But I at least do if I can't get like like a lot in for reading, I'll do like 10 minutes of reading or at least 20 pages and then I'll mark
Okay.
that. Um I don't know. I think that's just like a good way to get reading in. And I don't like read before bed. I read like a little bit after work.
Okay.
And then of course using Fable like I said to track. And then this is something that like I struggle with, but I'm trying to get better at is like creating because I have so much on my TBR and like physical and Kindle and all of that like stuff and audio. I have been trying to create like a small TBR that I can do every month. And maybe I
Okay.
only put like 2 books on it, but I think that's been
Mhm.
helping me. So like this month I had like 4 or 5 books on it that I like wanted to get through and I've actually gotten through almost all of them. So I think
Oh,
that's
that's
just like
awesome.
a good reading habit that I've gotten. And then something that I do that maybe not a lot of people do is that I read a physical book and then an audiobook. So I always am reading one or the other.
Mhm.
Um and I it's just cuz I really love audiobooks and I like audiobooks sometimes even a little bit more than music
Okay.
sometimes, especially like when I'm cleaning or whatever. So like I'll play an audiobook and then maybe like at the end of the night I'll like read a book. But
Mhm.
that's pretty much my reading habits. I guess I don't really have that many.
Yeah, I'm similar in that I am typically doing both a physical book and a Kindle book at the same time.
Yep.
And then I listen to an audiobook to go to sleep. And because I'm listening to David Copperfield by who's it by? Charles Dickens. Um
Ooh, a classic.
and I can tell you right now, I have not a clue what's going on in this book, so I don't ever like count it. But it's just like I like need voices to go to sleep.
Oh, same.
Yeah, and like I haven't had a TV in my room since I was a child. Um, so I do audiobooks. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't count them. So yeah, I typically have an audiobook, a physical book, and a Kindle book going all at the exact same time.
Yeah. Do you do like different genres, or are they all the same genres? Do you like care?
Um, Between my Kindle and my physical, they have to be different enough that understand that they're two different plots.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so like currently I'm kind of doing similar books right now. Similar in the genre, not in the content.
Okay.
Um,
Yep.
and that's sort of, yeah, it can be the same genre, but the content has to be different so that I'm
Yeah.
not getting confused between the two.
And that's something that I couldn't do when I first started reading, was
Mm-hmm.
read multiple books at the same time, where I feel like, especially audiobooks, just they're much different than reading a physical book. But I
Yeah.
can even now read two different books at the same time. I do, like you said, they have to be different genres, or at least they have to be not similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very proud of myself for like being able to do that now.
Yeah. I was the same way when I was first getting back into it, was that I could only read one at a time.
Yeah.
Do you have guilty pleasure reads? Do you feel like what is your vibe on like a guilty pleasure?
To me, a guilty pleasure is like a romantasy book. And I would say a romantasy book that leads more towards not really that much fantasy and more plot and less plot. And really I only read those type of books, like guilty pleasure, if I need like a brain break from like something
Mm-hmm.
that I like just read. Otherwise, it would be my guilty pleasure right now, which is so weird, is books about AI. Just because I am
Okay.
genuinely terrified of where AI could lead us, that like
Mm-hmm.
I have probably read in the past like 2 months 10 books, 8 to 10 books just about like AI. And I mean, they're all fiction. They're all
Okay.
whatever. They're all in the future type of things that, some of them really could possibly happen, but it's just like, for some reason, that's been a guilty pleasure read, and I'm actually reading one right now. So,
Okay.
live, laugh, love. What about you?
This is like a weird like social take in that like I don't think that anything that brings us pleasure as people should be considered guilty. Like I don't think that we
Correct.
should feel shame about any content that we consume that brings us pleasure.
Absolutely.
Um so like I just like I don't consider anything like really a guilty pleasure. There are books that I'm like I'm reading this because I don't want to think and like I want to
Yeah.
just kind of like exist outside.
Yeah.
But again, like I think that there's context, and I think I don't know that I would consider any of them like a guilty pleasure. Um,
Fair enough.
that said, I do hate finish books.
Oh, yes,
So
you do.
like
Yep.
I will finish a book out of spite. Um, and I think that that's the closest that I'm gonna get to a guilty pleasure, is that I will finish a book out of spite.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I've only done that a few times. We've talked about this before. I think we talked
Mhm.
about it on our collab. And the one that I did, it was a series, was the Light Lark series, where by the third book, whatever it's called, Skyshade or something like that, that was just like a out of spite
Mhm.
read, because there was no way that I was actually enjoying that book.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there are books. And before it was because I like did never DNF anything. Like I if I started it, I was gonna finish.
Yep.
I've grown out of that a little bit, in that I'm like, why am I, if I'm not even like having fun hating it, like what is the point of like spending hours reading a book that like I'm genuinely having a bad time reading?
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I will hate read books sometimes.
I love that for you.
But I guess that could fall into like a reading quirk and less of a guilty pleasure. But yeah, do you have any sort of like reading quirks or things that you must do, or like weird things that you do when you read?
I do have a few. Um, this is something that I've gotten better at. Is sometimes I will check, not per se on like clearly an audiobook or a Kindle Unlimited book, but I will check the pages or like how many pages I have left. It is something that I have done since I was a kid, so I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just like ingrained in my brain to do, but I have gotten better at it, but I still do
Okay.
it sometimes.
So when you're reading on Kindle, do you always have the like percentages and like how many minutes left in the chapter showing?
I have like the time, of course, and then I have the how much left is in like a chapter. I don't do how much is left in the book
Okay.
because sometimes that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
But like I'm like, no way, there can't be like that much left in the book. But I do have the percentages on, and most of the time, I don't know why, but like I don't check it on Kindle. Like I barely
Okay.
notice it on Kindle. It is really only physical books that I do that.
Interesting.
Weird, right? Ooh, this is one that I feel like maybe a lot of people will relate to. If an author describes a character to me,
Yeah.
and maybe it's like a little bit further into the book that they've just described the character. Either way, I already have an image like of what this character looks like in my head. So they could say
Okay.
this person has like brown hair, blah 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 blah, and I will imagine this person to have black hair or like red
Mm-hmm.
hair or something like that. Like I create images. Like clearly I'll still read that dialogue or not the dialogue. I'll read that portion, but it won't matter to me because I already have that image. I don't know.
Yep.
Do you do that?
So that I am like explaining this is very weird. I don't see things in my head when I read. So like how
Mm.
people like have it as like a movie is playing in their head or they're like visualizing characters.
Yeah.
I don't. Like my brain
Really?
just like doesn't work that there ain't nothing up there.
There ain't
Just
nothing
vibes.
up there.
Um so like I don't when people get really upset when like a character is cast and they don't feel like it was the right casting for like what they felt, I'm
Yeah.
like
Mm, mm.
that's who that is to me now. Like I
I
don't
don't want to tell you that's who they are.
yeah. Yeah, I don't see so like when they when they are being like very descriptive and um like trying to make you see visuals in the author's writing, I skim over it because I can't see my brain just like doesn't work that way that I can like visualize. But that said,
Why
like
would
I
that be
do
so difficult? But I'm guessing you're used to it, so
yeah.
it's not difficult for you. Yes.
Yeah, like I don't know any other way.
Dang, I didn't know
Um
that.
yeah, but I like feel the emotions of the characters. So like
Okay. Yeah.
when there's when books are very like emotive or like are very heavily descriptive in terms of like the feelings that the characters are feeling, those are books that I'm more grabbed into
Okay. Which makes
because like
sense.
I can feel what the characters are feeling, I just can't see them in my head.
Do you think that's why maybe it took you like longer to get into like fantasy, because
A
fantasy
hundred
is
percent.
very like describing characters, what they look like, and world building is such a huge aspect of most fantasy books.
Yeah, so like the I understand the magic systems quicker than I understand the like world itself. I like
Yeah.
will understand the politics and I'll understand the like interpersonal relationships,
Yeah.
but I don't always understand. They'll be like, we're going from this place to this place and then to this place, and people like or like will look at that map or and then like can
Yeah.
like see it, and I'm like, I don't know. Sure, I
Sure.
guess place A is next to place B, which is by the ocean, which is also by yeah, and I'm like, sure, whatever, sounds good to me. You do you, dog. As long as you know where you're going, I'm following right behind you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, I've never been like one that's like that character's not described how I thought he should be, and I'm like, I don't
See,
care.
And that's the thing for like movies and stuff, like when they make adaptations, like although I have this person like portrayed in my head what they like, what I think that they should look like or what they look like, I
Hmm.
don't have like a problem with casting. Like I don't
Okay.
care if that's how they think that this person should look like. Sure, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna get mad. Like maybe one more, and I feel like this is another like popular one that people may do, is if a story is getting really really intense, oh my gosh, sometimes I will just like accidentally like skip down to the bottom to like see what's going to happen on the next page. And sometimes I literally like have to, while I'm reading the book, I have to block the bottom because like
Yeah.
it's just so intense for me where I like want to know what's happening, and so I will have to like block off the page for me, which
Yeah, I
is
have done that in the past.
but I guess that's like most of my like reading quirks. What about you?
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of these in that like I don't feel like I've been productive in a reading session, or like a lot of the times I won't stop a reading session until I've read at least 50 pages. Because I'm like,
Okay.
if I read less than this, like what's the point? Which
Right.
is such a terrible way of looking at it. Because like any reading is productive reading. Like there's no whatever. I'm nuts. Okay.
You're
Um
not.
my stats, my books, my reading stats are
Oh.
so important to me, and that's why I love Bookly down bad, because that app is giving me like my pages per hour, and that I'm like, yes, yes, give me, yes.
I love that so much.
And then I like, and then like, yeah, it'll give me like my average reading speed per month, or like my average reading speed per year, and that's just so fun for me.
You just love that.
Yeah, like I love to see like how many hours I've spent reading, and like yeah. Um I okay, so here's the thing. I have always counted audiobooks as reading. Like
Oh
that
yeah,
that the discourse that like audiobooks aren't reading, I think is stupid.
I've never
That said,
understood it.
yeah, no. That said, I've never counted an audiobook in my reading because
Really?
up until this year I was only listening to them to go to bed.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that
I
makes
was
sense.
like, and I would listen to like a couple, like the Winston Brothers, like those I listen to, but like we're like, it's like a podcast for me. Um, but then this year I started to get into like actually listening to audiobooks outside of going to bed. Um, but I didn't start until late in the year, and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't really want to start counting these super late into the year. And only have like two before the end of the year. So I was like, I'm not going to count them this year, but I will start counting them next year.
Okay, okay.
And then my pride and joy, my one child, is my book inventory spreadsheet. Earlier this year, I went from having my books. So I have 6 bookshelves in my living room, by the way. I have a ton of books. And they're split. So 3 of them are just paperback books, and the other 3 are hardcovers.
Okay.
And at the beginning, or maybe about halfway through last year, I put them all, I color coded, which looked gorgeous, by the
Yeah.
way. Stunning. Um, but it made finding a book impossible. Because I was like, unless I know what color the spine is, I do not know where my books live. Um,
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
and when I did that, I did have one bookshelf that was just like dedicated to series, because I was like, I'm not splitting up my series by color.
Oh,
That's stupid.
absolutely not.
So then partway through this year, kind of early on in the year, I took every book out of my bookshelf, and then I sorted it by author last name, which makes it super easy to find. But then while I was doing that, I was like, I want to take inventory and like see how many books that I truly have. So I made a spreadsheet. I put in every book that I own. I own
Yeah.
so many books. 6 bookshelves worth, by the way. I have 2 tall ones, and then 3 short ones, and then a cube that I use as a bookshelf as well.
Oh my goodness.
I'm surrounded by books 100% of the time.
I love that. I love that for you.
But yeah, so like I organize I like have my inventory spreadsheet that I update and organize and like keep track of religiously. I currently have a couple of books I loaned out a while ago and haven't gotten back. So there's more than this, but I have 437 books. And I've read 68% of them, which I think
That's really good.
is good.
That's good.
Especially given that like one of the books that I haven't read, which is actually right here, is the freaking Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. Like,
No, count me
this
out of
will
that
get
one.
I probably won't like sit down and read this like I would any other book, but like I'll read it eventually. Did I get it because of Hosier? Yeah. And and
Yes,
and your point?
exactly.
A lot of the books that I haven't read exist because of stuff like that. And a
Right.
lot of them is just because I have a lot of books and I don't read them all as soon as I buy them.
Fair enough. Most, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of books on my bookshelf are unread too, because clearly when I first started reading, like I said, I got into book talk, which was like, buy all these books. And I was like, I need to buy all these books.
Yeah.
And so, like, I bought a crap ton of books.
Do you have any like bookish hot takes while we're on the topic of book talk?
Mm-hmm. I have some. Some books, maybe a decent amount of books out there, should be shorter. Especially if the book is literally just about smut. If it's
Yeah,
just a book
agree.
about smut with zero plot, that book does not need to be 400 pages. It does not.
400 potentially it can be. I've read some that are like smut and like solely smut and they're like 600.
Like,
Like
why?
anything more than like 450, 500, I'm like, yeah, no, that's too much. But like I've read a couple of good like 400-page
Have you?
smuts. Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe it's just because I like smut in a book. But I have kind of moved on from like only wanting smut in my book to like
Yeah.
I like it in sprinkles more now. So that's kind of like why it's such a hot take for me, is because my taste has changed.
Yeah.
Other than that, audiobooks count as reading. We already discussed
Yeah.
this. They count as reading.
Yes.
Not all romantasy or fantasy books with a female main character or a main male character, but mostly female main character, because that's how they're written, needs to be 16, 17, or 18. They
Heavy
can be
on that.
older. They can be older. Like, I don't know why we're always centering around them being young. Some of them, like, the story pertains to that. It makes sense. But, like, a 25-year-old can
Especially
be.
when they're like getting with a fae that's like 500 years old. Like what does he have anything to do with a 17 year old? Like that's gross.
No, I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I agree.
So I know that for some people that may be controversial, but like for us, And then I guess I said this one earlier, but enemies to lovers in most books published today are not true enemies to lovers.
Yeah, and that's so true.
So those are my hot takes. I will probably have way more going forward.
Yeah. I have a couple. And this one has kind of been in the discourse on TikTok right now, in that people are like freaking out because it's the end of the year. But the number of books that you read in a year does not matter.
No.
I think there's some stat that's like if you finish one book in a year, you've read more than most of the population.
Literally.
So like if you're reading one book, if you're reading 50 books, if you're reading 300 books, like as long as like you're having a good time and it's not like
Mhm.
adding like undue pressure or whatever, undue stress into your life, like that, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And I
Live
don't
and
even
let
know why
live.
it's like I have seen so many people on TikTok who get mad, especially if somebody has read over like 100 books,
Mhm.
which I don't understand. Why are you getting mad at people for reading it? Like, and they're like, you don't have like time for that. It's like maybe you don't have time for that, but
Right.
other people do.
Yeah. Well, and it's like cuz people are like you don't have a life if you've read more than 100 books this year. I as of yesterday have read 148 books this year.
Yep.
And for all of the year, I was a full time student.
Mhm.
And for more than half of the year, I was also working full time.
Yep.
And I see my friends multiple times a week. Like, I just don't watch a ton of TV and I don't spend 8 hours a day on TikTok. Like that, like it's just
Yup.
like I'm prioritizing other things. Um Whatever. Whatever.
Whatever. People are
People can fight
always
me.
going to have an opinion on that, but
Yeah.
it's so stupid in my opinion.
Yeah. And the other thing that people say about people who read a ton of books, which is another take of mine, is that like, oh, you're not reading to comprehend if you're reading fast. And it's like, okay, one, if I'm having a good time and I'm reading my book and I'm reading it fast, does it matter to you? Like why do you care?
Correct.
Two, I'm not reading this for school. If I forget the book the second I close it, like that's on me. That has nothing to do with
Right.
you.
Yes, I know.
And like there are books that like I don't necessarily need to have like thoughts on, right?
Right.
Like it's just a book to get out of the day-to-day thinking.
Right. And it's like, yeah, of course, like we as like the whole world needs to read more, but it doesn't have to be a like literary fiction every time. Let us
No.
enjoy books that we want to enjoy. That is the point of reading. Like reading is subjective. You can read whatever
Mhm.
you want. I
And it's supposed to be fun.
1000%.
Um, Another one that I have that I that some people are this is one that people are either really for or really against. But I love a book that looks loved. I want a
Oh,
broken spine.
yes.
I want dog-eared pages. I like will highlight and annotate and like a book that like looks loved and feels loved. Like I don't want my books to look new. I want my books to look read.
Right. Exactly. Like they're your books.
Yes, yes. And then my last one, so sorry. Special editions are stupid. It's super consumeristic, it's super capitalistic, it's so unnecessary. Um and I don't know, I might have one special edition that was purchased for me. But I've never purchased a special edition, especially if I already have a book. Like I don't understand the point of having multiple copies of the same book.
I'm with you on that one. I don't have multiple copies of anything. Like, okay, so I am very much like, I feel the same way, unless it is a book, first of all, that I don't have. Like, we're like talking about Babel. I don't have Babel. I read that on Kindle Unlimited.
Mm,
And it is like one of the best books that I have ever read. And
yep.
so if I don't have that book, then I do want a special edition. And I get a
Yeah.
special edition from like I don't like the ones that are made by like the publishing, except for I
Okay.
did except for like Calabasas. I guess I did get that. But
Mhm.
is it really even a special edition? I don't know. But I want to get a special edition from somebody who has made it, like from Etsy or something like
Yep.
that. That's why like my that's what like Babel, I only asked for one from Etsy, but I do agree that like not every book needs a special edition.
No.
No. No.
The only one that I and I would never buy it, but like if I got it, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
Is that there's a special edition with like character art of a Little Life,
Oh.
and they've broken up the book into 3 different books, so you have a bunch of different covers.
Wait, is this the one you tagged me in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
doing a giveaway for it.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, like if it's a giveaway and I win,
Heck yeah.
whatever. But like I just like I don't feel, because I don't reread a ton because I have so much on my TBR that like I don't necessarily feel the
Mhm.
need to reread. But if I were to reread, that would be one that I would. Now let's get into like the individual books themselves. Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is like a book or a series or a couple that really made you like fall into love with reading?
So I think like what we talked about earlier, I think I mentioned like The Way I Used to Be. That's what it was called. The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. Like I last December, the end of December, I picked that up. That made me fall in love with reading and made me like want to keep reading. But the series that changed me is we've talked about this one too, Throne of Glass. Clearly I read ACOTAR first, and like that got me into fantasy. Like I
Okay.
was like, ooh, maybe I do like fantasy. But it was a different type of fantasy. So when I read Throne of Glass, especially Kingdom of Ash and Queen of Shadows,
Yeah.
but especially Kingdom of Ash, I was like, I think that I will continue reading fantasy because this is so good. Because like
Mhm.
technically, I read Fourth Wing before I read um Throne of Glass or ACOTAR, and like that's a fantasy. It's a fantasy, but it's not like Kingdom of Ash or the Throne of Glass series. It's a
No.
lot different. So
Yep.
I think that's like the book that or like the series that changed me. And then the book or series I will always recommend, the Throne of Glass series,
Yep.
and Babel by R.F. Kuang. But this is kind of tailored to the person that I would recommend it to. I
Yep.
feel like there's a lot of people who would not enjoy it, but clearly it is my favorite book of all time that
Mhm.
I've ever read. Um and it literally like just how the story was, I don't know. It changed me and I will always recommend that book. What about you?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I have I've fallen in and out of love with reading so many times that I have
Yeah.
several. So like the first books that I ever learned how to read were these like cardboard pages books. Or no, they weren't they were like actual pages. Called Dick and Jane.
Oh.
Um and it was a yellow cover, and there was a dog and they were friends,
Yeah.
and that those and I think my mom still owns them. Like I think that like my older brother, me, my younger siblings, we've all learned how to read based on these books, so like they hold a very like special place in my heart. um Again, in childhood's a series of unfortunate events, those were my shit. um Teenage years were my dystopian era, so Hunger Games,
Heck yeah.
Gone by Michael Grant. Funny story, I have only read the Breaking Dawn Twilight book,
Oh.
but I read that in like the 5th grade, and it's like 1,200 pages.
Mhm.
And I was, because it was like right before the movies came out, so I wanted to read it before I went and saw the movies, because my family was a big Twilight family.
See, I've only read the first half of Twilight,
Okay.
and I don't know if I'd ever actually read the series just because of how much I love hate the movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first movie, I like it's so cringy that I just have to love it, but the rest of the movies I just love. So maybe Twilight, like reading Twilight's in my future, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're very of the era, right? Like they
Oh,
were written like early 2000s,
Mhm.
and they feel very early 2000s,
Oh,
like that, like that's
1000%.
just the like vibe. So
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, love that. And then again, getting back into reading, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which
Yes. Yes. I read when I
can't,
first
yeah,
started reading. That's the only book I think I've ever read by her, but that book was so good.
yeah, it was really good. I mean, it was good with the limited knowledge that I had of like what good books were. It was a
Mhm.
really good book.
Yes.
And like I said, I'll always hold like a special place in my heart for Colleen Hoover because she's the author that got me back into reading.
Absolutely.
A book or series that changed me. I have a couple of this again. Beartown by Frederick Bachman.
Ooh.
The
It's
Beartown
on my TBR.
series, but the first one particularly, which is another like huge shout out, Mrs. Meadema. She was like, Asia, you need to read this book. And I was like, I could not care less about hockey. And she's like, it's about more than hockey. And I was
Yes.
like, okay. And I gave it a try and I loved it. And then I
Mhm.
picked it up again recently and reread the first one and read the second one, and I haven't read the final one yet because I don't want to let go of the series.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if I just I think it'll be one of my first reads of 2026 though.
Okay.
um and then A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Again, that's a one where I'm like, check triggers. It's gotten a lot of flack for being just like trauma porn, which like, yes. And I like an emotional read. Sue
Oh,
me, okay?
1000%.
Yeah.
1000%.
And then a book that I got a tattoo for is
Ooh.
This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel. And it was my first sort of dive into, I would consider it literary fiction.
Okay.
Um, but there was a part in it where one of the main characters is like going through a really hard time and she talks with a local in an Asian city, and the local doesn't speak English very well, obviously.
Yep.
And they're talking about like growing as humans, and the local says, you never become, like, you're never a fully fleshed out person, you're
Oh.
always becoming. So I have
Okay.
never become, always becoming tattooed on me, and it's,
Okay, that's so cute. I love that.
yeah. So I love that. I read two of Lori Frankel's other books, and I really, really, really love. And then the book series or books that I'll always recommend is one that I read this year that I love, love, love down. I read it for my book club, and I was the only one in my book club that liked it, but I'm going to recommend this book till the day that I die. It's Wellness by Nathan Hill. It's
Okay.
just like a like domestic fiction, um but I think that is probably the best book that I read this year. Also,
Ooh.
Wayward by Amelia Hart, which was my first sort of dip into magical realism. Loved. It's very like feminine forward, the divine feminine. Um,
I think that Wayward is on my TBR.
it's so good. And then The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Another one that's very like rooted in feminine strength. Yeah, so those are the those are the three that I'll recommend. Let's talk before we end episode 1
Woo woo.
about current reads. Tell me about the books that you're reading.
I am reading, so like I said, I'm reading both an audiobook and a physical book. So the physical book that I'm reading is I just got it from Walmart not that long ago, and it is Good Spirits by BK Borison. Her
Mm.
other book, First Time Caller, I still haven't read, but so far I love the writing style. And just like a quick description of it, if somebody hasn't read it yet, with no spoilers clearly, it's about a woman who is haunted by the ghost of Christmas past, who, of course, is now a love interest. But I feel like if I delve any deeper into the description, since it's such a short book, it might give it away. Um, my first impression, I'm about halfway through the book and I actually really like it. I'm just not a huge contemporary romance fan.
Okay.
But this one has a lot of like good plot, and it kind of goes back into like memories of this female main character and male main character. And it's really good so far. So at this point, I do think I'd recommend it. And then the audiobook that I'm listening to, which I tried to get at the library, so I tried to read this one physically, is The Will of the Many by James Islington. Islington. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But this one is kind of hard to explain, just mostly due to like the magic system and how the magic system works. But it's about the main character whose family was executed due to a newly like formed hierarchy system. So it's like kind of like Roman hierarchy based, and where he escaped before being killed. And now he's like 17 years old, and he was fighting in like a part of the town that he like shouldn't have been fighting in, but he fights for money, and that's how like he wants to get away from the orphanage. And somebody from the hierarchy recognizes him, or not like recognizes him, but like recognizes his like ability to fight and that he's pretty smart. So he adopts him and sends him to this like academy, and there's like, of course, like magic going on, but he's like, the whole reason he sent him to the academy is to like be a spy.
Oh, okay.
So it's very,
Interesting.
very interesting. If anybody has read, which I know you haven't, Nietzsche, but you will, I promise.
Yes.
Red Rising, the trilogy by Pierce Brown. If you have read that series, this book, which is also going to be a series, I think the next book just came out. There's like a lot of similarities without like, because of course Red Rising is very sci-fi, where this one is just fantasy. There's not really
Okay.
any sci-fi going on in it, but there is a lot of similarities to it. So I think I have like 6 hours left of the book, which is like 3/4 of the way done.
Mm.
And so far, I would recommend it. It has gotten so good so far. What about you?
Yeah. Well, I've heard really good things about the Will of the Many, and that's been
Mhm.
put onto my TBR recently.
Yes.
But I've got three to share. One I finished, so I'm not technically currently reading it, but I finished it last night, so it counts. Um, and that's a Kindle book. It's called Rhythm, Chord, and Malakin by Mariana Zapata. She's one of my favorite slow burn authors. Um, but in brief, girl goes on tour with her twin brother's band, who's opening for a different headlining band. She falls for the main singer of the headlining band. Happily ever after. If
Rest is
you're
history.
not into slow burns, this is not for you, because again, they didn't even like kiss, I don't think, until like 67% of the way through. So like it's slow
That's
burn
perfect.
AF. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
um it's cute. I love it. I would recommend if you're looking for something fun and easy.
Yep.
Um, but then I also started two new books last night, and they're both a little bit heavier. Um, yeah, so the physical book that I started is called Fox by Joyce Carol Oates. I heard about it um, through the New York Times's book recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it takes place in New Jersey. There are so many characters, by the way. Hey, a ton of characters. Um, but like part it all centers around a like dead body being found in a dump. But it also is a 7th and 8th grade English teacher who is preying on his students.
Oh.
Yes. Um,
Okay.
so it's disturbing, it's really yucky, and I'm having the best time. um, I'm only about 100 pages in, and it's a 650-page book. So I don't know that I could say yes or no whether I would recommend it, but I am having fun so far. And then the last book that I started last night is a novella. It's called We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman. And again, this one I'm not super far into, but it's a woman and her best friend who's dying of cancer.
Oh.
So the woman is in hospice, and it's just like what's happening, sort of the life cycle of helping a friend who's dying in hospice. Yeah. It's so sad. Like,
okay, I need to read this one.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's a part of a Goodreads challenge, which is why I picked it up. Like, and like that's something that you should know about me is I don't go into books typically reading what they're about.
Yeah.
I don't read reviews before going in. I'll read the back of a book before I buy it, but typically by the time between buying it and reading it is so far apart that like I only have like a very general idea.
Yeah.
So I go into most of my books blind, and this was one of them. But yeah, Jesus, it's so sad. But it's like beautifully written. But it just makes you like think about the like dualities that exist in being a human. That like you can't have beauty without sorrow, you can't have joy without pain. If you're into a sad book, I would recommend.
All right.
Yeah,
that was
us.
We did it.
Episode 1.
We yapped for almost a full 2 hours.
We hope that you had a good time with us. We had a good time with you.
Yeah. We're gonna have so much fun.
There's so much that we're gonna be doing moving forward. We're gonna be putting out episodes every other week. On Wednesdays.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about books generally like we did today. We're gonna talk about our reading generally like we did today. But we're also gonna deep dive into some books and do some buddy reads as things go on too. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes and ears open. If you have any recommendations for a buddy read, or anything that you want to hear us talk about, let us know.
Thank you for watching.
Or listening, wherever you are.
Yeah, sorry. Watching and listening. Whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. However it is you're consuming our content, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Whoop whoop.